But first, it can be tough to find the perfect balance when it comes to accessorizing a room, right? That's what Belinda was saying. There's a balance between overdoing it, underdoing it. You want to be just like the bear there, or like, was it Goldilocks you said?
Goldilocks,
and get
yeah.
it just right.
Yeah, we are finding our balance here over with designer Angela Smeed, and she's going to show us how it's done. So this is the biggest question, right? Because I think a lot of us wonder, how do we know if we are overdoing it? Is there some way to actually tell when people are walking in and they're just kind of like blinded, or they got to take a step back?
Okay, so I would say the litmus test is to check and see if you have accessories on top of your kitchen cabinets, then you've over-accessorized.
Okay, and I see a lot of people probably Googling what the litmus test is right now. So
No,
what is it? Can you explain
I'm just
it?
making that up.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm totally making it up. No, when I go into a client's home and they have greenery on top of their kitchen cabinets, I'm like, okay, this person has overdone it a little bit. Anytime you have just too much in your home to where you're feeling stressed, you've overdone it with your accessories. Your room should feel peaceful. It shouldn't feel overdone.
Okay, so you really should have that sense of peace when you're walking room to room regardless.
Regardless of what you have in your home, it's better to have less and build on things little by little than it is to just try and fill a space all at once.
Okay, and you've created some wonderful displays that are right in front of us. So do you have some tips for creating those visuals that people will, or it'll draw people in?
Absolutely. Okay, so first of all, this would be a great example of purchasing something that's a little bit more meaningful. A sculpture, something, this is not something that you would just toss. You'd hang on to this for a long time. It's simple and it goes with everything. So I put this display together, and I'm actually going to take it apart so I can show you kind of the difference really quick.
Okay.
So,
do you want these flowers off?
yeah, if you could do that. So we'll move the tray. Now, if we did this display the same way, but we don't have the tray, it just doesn't look quite as pulled together.
Yeah, it's lacking
So
something.
it is lacking something. And so I think by adding just a simple thing like a tray will really group your accessories together. So this could be a really fantastic coffee table arrangement once you add your tray back in.
Okay.
Or just something like if you have a chest in your home and you want some visual display on that, you can do that.
Can you also talk about the roll textures playing in this particular display, because we're
Yes.
seeing so much depth?
Right, so I really did try to focus on texture when I put this together. Obviously this vase has so much texture. So
Is this
I
like
didn't,
chains?
I know, it
Yeah.
kind of looks like kind of an embossed chain pattern. And then we have texture here in this pot, but it's a different pattern. So this is sort of like a line, and this is a little bit more pattern, and this is a little more speckled. So anytime you're putting groupings of patterns together, try and get them in different categories. This piece is also quite a bit more smooth. And I like using risers, acrylic risers, crystal risers to kind of elevate things when necessary. So
That's awesome. Now, can we move over to
Sure,
this one too?
absolutely.
Because so many elements are drawing us in, whether it's these crystals or these stones.
Okay, so this is just a little bit more of an elegant display. I would say these are things that you can purchase through interior designers. You can shop my website, angelasmeeddesign.com.
Great.
We also can purchase great accessories through places that we've traveled to, boutique stores. I like Z Gallery. This one was from Z Gallery for just a little bit higher end looking accessories.
Can I ask you something too? Why is it
Yes.
so important for us to go with a higher quality versus maybe something you could just find at Home Goods?
I think that when you fill your home with things that are cheap, it lends itself to like this room that just overall feels cheap. You're not really fooling anyone. Like you might be filling a space, but it's not necessarily elevating the look of your home. And I find all the time people invest a ton of money in their homes. They'll buy really expensive homes, and then they go to Home Goods and they're so excited, I found all these things. We get really tempted by the excess, but really what we're craving is simplicity and organization and just peace in our home. So having making the right selections is really what is important, and not just having the excess and filling the space.
Well, Angela, thank you so much for those tips and for showing us how to pull it all together.
You're welcome. Thank you.